Ladies and gents, my name is Phil from Small Global Tabletop Hobbies. Welcome to the UK Games Expo, Day 1. Well, there, YouTubers, you may have guessed that was me back in time at the UK Games Expo on Day 1. Couldn't do much shooting on Day 1. It was quite busy and we were walking around a lot, so I'm going to do a little recap now like this, and then we'll get to the video. So on the Thursday evening we actually went to the press event, which was lots of developers showcasing their games, lots of tables in the expo in Hall 2, where you could actually go around and see new games that were on release, and we had a good look at stuff that we may want to take a look at during the expo itself and do some recording. The expo itself was running from Thursday night for the press, and it went Friday, Saturday, Sunday for general public and visitors. As you can see, it was particularly busy. The Friday was quite a busy day, and we were there around about 9:30, and it was pretty hectic. The bring and buy was particularly busy on Friday morning, so that required you were going to be queuing for an hour if you wanted to drop games off into the bring and buy. Other than that, there was lots of gaming going on. There wasn't as much gaming on the Friday as there was on the Saturday and the Sunday, but obviously on the evenings it gets massively busy. But during the Friday, we got around to see lots of things. As you can see, it wasn't particularly busy, so you had a lot of opportunity to sit down and get some demos. As the day went on the Friday, it got busier and busier. So if you want to do demos, you try and get there early on the Friday morning to get them done. Walking around the expo, there's lots of things on show. Star Wars Legion and various miniature war games, a lot of Warhammer, a lot of Games Workshop were there as well. The miniatures on display were obviously painted to a really good standard, and the terrain and the scenery, everything that went with it, always makes these games stick out and just look fantastic. And the level of painting was particularly high. There was lots of painting workshops there for younger painters if they've never done it before. So sitting down and actually doing some speed painting and getting to grips with how to cheat when you're painting Warhammer figures and stuff like that. That was always interesting, and I saw a lot of kids and a lot of people doing that. To be honest, it was good for them to get the practice in. There was many war games on show, so I think it's Parabellum Games had a particularly good display, and as you can see there, Titan Forge was some really nice miniatures. But Parabellum War Games had a full like a diorama, that scenery there set up, and it just looked great, and you just want to go in and touch the small things and see what's going on. Really enjoyed looking at that stuff. Here with Jamie from the Noble Artist. He's going to tell us about Hero Master.
Hi, yeah, this is Hero Master, an epic game of epic fails. It's a game which turns dungeon crawlers on its head. So you don't play the bold and the brave, you play the worst heroes known to man. And you basically are so oblivious to everything that you haven't even noticed the dragon swooping ahead. And it's only when adventurers pile in and out of the tavern that you finally decide that you should probably go out on this adventure. And when the dust settles and everyone's gone, you're left with the same usual suspects who are also the worst adventurers in the world. So reluctantly you go out in a desperate bid to try and buy your way into another party. You're trying to get the most gold you possibly can, regardless of how the rest of the party gets on. It's not a cooperative game, it's very much a competitive game.
So it's PvP, players are going against each other?
They are essentially going against each other. They're not attacking each other, but they are getting in each other's way constantly. So everybody's trying to attack the monsters, and the person who actually defeats the monster manages to get the reward for it, so gold and treasure and what have you. But at the same time, other players will be trying to throw in their inept kind of traits essentially that will kind of trip you up along the way. So the barbarian has no spatial awareness, he's just getting in everyone's way. The wizard is completely intolerant of everyone using things he hasn't authorised, all that sort of stuff. So it's kind of really silly. The halfling's always eating, so it kind of just gets on everyone's nerves. So it's kind of like, it's a really kind of like, I guess, humorous looking game, like wrapped in bubble wrap, but beneath the surface you've got this kind of like deep strategy on a level where you're trying to jockey for first player position, which is known as the party leader. So when you're the party leader, not only do you get to choose the monster you're going to fight, you get to choose the location you're going to go to, but you also get to choose, you get to roll the dice first, so you have the best chance of attacking the monster and taking the monster out. Fantastic. So throughout the game you're kind of like jockeying party leader, you can imagine these bungling idiots, desperate to kind of like prove themselves, and that is kind of the long and short of it. You have a big showdown with the dragon at the end.
Yep. How long does an average game normally take? 2 to 4 players?
2 to 4 players, so for 2 players, when you know the game, like we do now, it's about 45 minutes, but we're saying it's about an hour for a 2-player game, plus 15 minutes for any extra players to play.
Fantastic. And this is yet to
yeah, that's right. It's
what's your plans?
Plan is to launch on Kickstarter in September. Prototype is, we actually got it on Thursday while we were here, so really excited to kind of get it out on the table and stuff. It's fantastic. It's been in development for the past 2.5 years. Tested, Stan's joined me a year and a half ago, and so we're now kind of fully tested it. It's been blind tested. It's soon to go out to reviewers, previewers should I say, in the next couple of weeks, and hopefully kind of get that all ready to go in September.
Fantastic.
Cool. Thanks very much.
Well, it's 4:20, Expo Day 2. Just had some lunch in the bar, pizza and a drink. Heading back in to just finish off the last hour and a half and probably play some more demos. It's here, isn't it? Had a little bit of lunch, wandered back in, and then it was time to test some games that I've never played before. Namely, I think we had a look at 9 Worlds, which is quite a colourful looking game, and we really enjoyed playing that one. It was intuitive and kind of dudes on a map sort of a scenario, but the actual moving the tokens around on the map and getting somebody else out of a world in order that you can reap the bonus and things like that, it was quite good. If I saw it discounted, I'd have probably picked it up. I think it was retailing for about £28, but just so many things to buy and wander around and look at that it wasn't actually top of my list. It was a game I'd never seen before, and I thought I'd give it a whirl. But we quite enjoyed doing the demo of 9 Worlds, and it was quite a good playthrough. Enjoyed it. Also, we went over to Portal Games, and whilst I was there was Tides of Time, which is really quick. There's only 18 cards in the box, and it's just a combo sort of not even trick taking, it's a drafting game. So you stick your cards out and you draft, and then you see if you can get any combos hitting off with the flavor text on each card, and there's like 5 suits in the deck, and you just play and try and get your points up by comboing them. Really enjoyed that. I bought 2 copies of that. I bought the Tides of Time original, and I think there was the Cthulhu expansion, which is down there, something like that. And that's basically Cthulhu with Tides of Time skinned on it as well. Not had a chance to play that one yet, but that was really good as well. Well, that's Games, UK Games Expo Day 2 complete. It's now 5 to 9 at night. We've been here since 8:30 this morning, so a little bit tired. Lots of demos and lots of things done today. Lots of things in the bring and buy, and we bought some odds and sods and some games I've never seen before. Today we managed to pick up Vikings Gone Wild and a strange game called, wait there, I'll get it, Artificium. Never seen it before. It's a clever little game where you're trying to build resources and get up and down, and the person with the most points wins. It was £11. I think the retail price is much higher than that, so I'm happy with that. Also managed to pick up Vikings Gone Wild for £25. The bring and buy to the expo is quite an eye-opener for me. So today we managed to find a couple of odds and sods. Yesterday, the first day on Friday, there was massive amounts of gains and there was lots to spend. Probably spent a little bit too much in there, to be honest. But today wasn't as good because it was really busy being a Saturday.
So hopefully we're going to look early on Sunday morning to see if we can find anything there. We also had a good demo of Jamaica, a game we haven't played before. We played it in a 4-player game for the first time. It's quite enjoyable, quite a good fun game, bit of a racing game. Probably wouldn't end up purchasing it because it's not very good with 2 players. And Dice City. We had a 3-player game of Dice City, and that was novel. If I see it in the Bring and Buy, I'll probably pick it up. I'm not going to pay full price for it, I'm too tight. And we're just leaving the expo now, having watched the charity raffle with Paul Brogan from Gaming Rules, and they raised over £2,000, giving away lots of board games, lots of stuff, game related, and it was all good fun. Good time had by all. Hey folks, day 3 of the expo, last day today. Going to be leaving around about 1 o'clock so I can get home in good time. Lots of people going in again by the looks of it. Hoping not to spend much more money, and hoping that I haven't got to collect my games from the Bring and Buy that haven't sold. Speak to you in a bit. Okay, here with Kai from Herbert's Entertainment. He's going to talk to us about the new release of Albedo.
Yes, hello. So Albedo is a deck building game, but there are several cool twists about it. So for one thing, you draw 6 cards, and normally you would have a deck of 12 cards in a regular deck builder, but here you only have 9 cards, which means that the second turn cannot be exactly calculate what other people have. And also, if you pick up a big upgrade card in the first round, you might have it in the second round, but you might not. So you'll get your upgrade cards quicker. And the next twist is that people plan their move at the same time. So regardless,
so there's no downtime in the game, everyone's playing at the same time.
Yes, exactly. And also it helps that it scales up very, very well. So if you play it with 2 people or 4 people or even 8 people, then it always takes 35 to 45 minutes.
You would need additional boxes to do that, yeah?
You need a second box. So the first box has enough cards for 2 to 4 players, and if you combine 2 boxes, you have enough planets and player cards so that you can play with 8 people.
Right.
And every round there are 2 planets out, and you need ground combat to conquer the planets, but you need space combat in order to be the first person to choose where to land, to pick the sweet spots that you want.
Yep.
And your cards that you have, the spaceships you can reconfigure. They have a loadout for space combat, and you can rotate them by 180 degrees to give them different stats for a mix of space and ground combat. So you always have to think, where do I want to go, where are my opponents going, and how greedy do I want to be by configuring my ships for the ground combat so that I can get as much as I want from the planets, but I still need enough space combat that I actually be able to land on the planets. And that's kind of the decision you're making.
So the eventual aim of the game is to
you want to conquer planets.
Conquer planets, and so you do that before your opponent, or do you try and destroy your opponent?
It's basically like this. So there's 2 planets out, and we plan whether we go to planet 1 or planet 2, configure our ships, and once everybody has done that, we resolve the planets. Who's at planet 1, and then you might say, I'm at planet 1 with 7 points of space combat and 4 points of ground combat, and I might say, oh, I'm there with 5 points of space combat and 7 points of ground combat, and the planet is worth 7 victory points, but there's also a production facility for you need 4 points of ground combat to get a big upgrade card. And so you say, oh, actually I wanted the upgrade, but now that I see that you have 7 points of ground combat and want to get the victory points, I will land on the victory point location because you beat me in the space combat.
So it's the first person to get the most victory points in a certain amount of turns?
It's 7 turns, and in the end we told the victory point.
Oh, fantastic. So there's resource management as well in the game?
Well, you pick up new cards. You always have to.
So you get the ability to upgrade.
Normally in a deck builder, I would say it's you become more powerful, and therefore you score more points. And here on the planets, you have to decide: do I want victory points? Do I want upgrade cards? Or do I want to thin my deck? Right. So depending, and this is victory points are worth the most, and like feeling-wise for playing the game. Upgrade cards are also good, and the thinning the deck is nice, but not that crucial. So basically, it's always good to have a big space combat so that you get one of the good locations to get a big upgrade card or get the victory points. But nobody is shut out. So if we play with 8 people, we all go to the same planet. There's always a consolation prize location where people can get a little upgrade card and sin their deck. So nobody is left behind feeling frustrated, oh, I'm not getting off the ground at all.
Fantastic.
There is a Kickstarter campaign coming at the end of June for an expansion, and people who miss out at the expo of getting the game because it's not in wide retail, you can't go to any store and buy it. Since I'm a small indie, there's one store that sells it and has it in their online store. In the campaign you can also get the base game.
Oh, fantastic. So what date is that in June, do you know?
It's 29th of June. I have the flyer here.
Fantastic, 29th of June. That's great. Well, there we go. That's the end of the UK Games Expo for me. It's Sunday, just gone lunchtime, and I'm going to call it a day there. I've got all the demos in that I wanted to do and done some filming today as well. It's far less busy today. Saturday was the worst day by far. It was absolutely heaving, couldn't get through anywhere. Friday was a good day for the bring and buy, so if you're interested in the Games Expo just to sell your games on and buy some bargains, which there were a few, Friday needs to be your day. Today the bring and buy was empty and dead, so it wasn't even worth going into, in my opinion, today. It was just stuff there that nobody else wanted, so you can probably give that one a miss. Also got to demo Mystic Scrolls, which is a real-time dice chucker where everyone is drawing from the same pool of dice, trying to complete their spells with certain combinations of dice. That was quite good fun. And just trying to damage the other person and get them down to 0 health. Done some shopping today. The discounts weren't really in place today. There was a few games being cut in price and stuff like that, but nothing major. Bought a few games because Chaos Cards have got a booth in there as a retailer, and their prices were the best in the whole expo, I think. So bought a couple of games from there on our way out. I wanted Imaginarium because the artwork looks good, but I'll wait and bide my time to see the reviews on that game rather than diving in now. Also, a couple of things, negatives. The bring and buy area is nowhere near big enough. The first 2 days, Friday and Saturday, the bring and buy was massively packed and you couldn't move or look at any games efficiently. So that was really hard work, just the sheer amount of people. So the bring and buy space is nowhere near big enough. It needs to be double the size it is now. Also, I was looking to buy realistic resources and things like that for Orleans or Concordia, and many games like that, and I think there was only one store selling them, and they were selling them for 15p I think per resource, so there wasn't particularly any massive deals to be had on that either, which is a bit disappointing. Lots of people selling some coins, but I think they were about 50p per coin, so you're exchanging real money for fake money at 50p a time, which was okay. I ended up buying some, unfortunately, or fortunately. I bought some viticulture coins to make that game a little bit better when you're playing it. It feels nicer when you're playing it with the real coins. Our best day was Saturday, where we arrived in the morning, we went in, we grabbed a coffee, sat down for an hour, played a game that we bought on the Friday, and then we went and dived into the expo and done some filming and spoke to some exhibitors and played some demos. It's great. It's a great weekend. If you've never done it before, come along and do it. Friday was a great day. It was busy, not too busy. Saturday was ridiculously busy, so it was hard to walk down the aisles, and Sunday is half as busy as it was on Saturday. So there's lots of space and lots of games and lots of tables open to demo, but not as much bring and buy bargains. So personally, I'd probably say your best time to come would be a Saturday and a Sunday, because you get some of the leftovers from Friday on the bring and buy, and you get a quieter day on the Sunday if you want to stay all day gaming. Anyway, UK Games Expo 2018 done. My name's Phil from Small Robot Tabletop Hobbies, and I'll see you next time.